Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Pete. This is where we talk about money, finances, where we give you information, education to help you make the best financial decisions and investment decisions possible. So at the moment, I am reading this book right here. It's called How I Invest My Money, and it's been written by financial experts, and it talks about how they personally invest their money. I want to talk about this in this video this week, but we're going to postpone it till next week because there are some very interesting themes that run across this book. But the reason why I want to move this until next week is because I get a lot of questions on IG and certainly in the comments, because I read all of my comments here on YouTube. And there seems to be a common theme. And particularly today, it stuck out because I got maybe 10, 12 questions on this one thing. So I thought, let's spend a little bit of time in a video just maybe clarifying ISA allowances and how they can be used, because I think many people are confused over, well, can I have a lifetime ISA, and can I have a cash ISA, and can I have a stocks and shares ISA? And how does it all work? The rules can be very, very confusing. So in this video, we thought we'll just clarify a little bit and give you the information that you need so that you can make a clear, well-informed decision. If you are new to this channel, you've only just found me, welcome. This is where we talk about money, investing. We use plain English. We keep it simple here so that you can follow and you can learn and you can put your best foot forward, really, as you're trying to be a first-time investor and make the right decisions based on good information and based on further research, because these videos cannot be taken as financial advice. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell. I upload every Tuesday and every Friday at 5 p.m. Before we get going, I'm just going to give you a second to smash the like button, because the like button is really, really important. If nobody likes the videos, YouTube is not going to promote my video. They're going to think it's absolute trash and no one's going to see it. So it's really, really important. That's one thing that you can do for me right now. Smash the like button. It will help the channel grow. And I am marching towards 10,000 subscribers. We are at about 7,500 or just under as we speak right now. So here's a second for you to smash that like button. Let's go. All right, so I have done videos on ISAs before. So if you want to get a little bit of a different context, maybe a different feel, I might say things differently on this video, then go and watch this video right here. I talk about ISAs. I talk about the different types of ISAs and the ISA allowance, but this one is going to be focused on specifically the ISA allowance and how you can actually use it. So let's talk a little bit about the basics. So what is your ISA allowance? Your ISA allowance is essentially a £20,000 allowance the government gives you every single tax year to save tax-free. When I say save, you can save and invest completely tax-free. So £20,000. Now, the government being the government and HMRC being HMRC, your tax year does not run from January 1st to January 1st like you would think. No, they have a set of dates in mind. So the dates that you need to remember are April the 5th and April the 6th. During that period, you can save or invest £20,000 completely tax-free. Now, the important thing to remember here is that your £20,000 allowance is a contribution allowance. And the word contribution is very important in this conversation. Contributions essentially imply money that you pay in as a saver or an investor. So money that you physically pay into the account. And this is really important because a lot of the questions that I get are circled around, well, if I pay in £20,000 and I get interest or investment returns, and at the end of the tax year, I've got £25,000, have I broken the ISA rules? The answer to that is no. You cannot contribute more than £20,000. If you pay in your £20,000 and over the course of a year, the money goes from £20,000 to £25,000, that is completely fine. That £5,000 growth that you got because the markets might have done really, really well is completely tax-free. You are still within the rules. The key thing to remember is the amount of money that you contribute into the ISA, I was going to say pensions there, into the ISA cannot be more than £20,000. Now that we understand that, let's talk about the type of ISAs that are available. And I've spoken about this before, but I'm going to go over them again here. So you have a cash ISA. A cash ISA is essentially an ISA that is sat in a bank account. It's readily available. You're not going to get a lot of interest right now. This is November 20. We still don't know whether we're moving towards negative interest rates, but currently interest rates are pretty much rock bottom. So you're not going to be getting any interest in there, but it is a good home for things like your emergency fund, for example, right? But it is cash. It means that it's easily accessible, which is why it's great for an emergency fund. You won't be getting much interest. So that's a cash ISA. Then you've got a stocks and shares ISA. So a stocks and shares ISA will essentially be invested in the stock market for you. Stocks and shares essentially alludes to the fact that it is buying stocks or shares and shares. We use those phrases interchangeably, but stocks and shares, stocks or shares effectively mean one thing. It means that they're invested in the markets, buying companies like Tesla, like Coca-Cola, like Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, so on and so forth. So it implies investing in the stock market. When you're looking to invest using a stocks and shares ISA, it's very, very important that you understand what level of risk that you want to take. And if you're using people like Moneybox or Hargreaves Lansdown or Vanguard, there's so many out there, eToro, then you will have the ability to select whether you think you're a cautious investor, a balanced investor, or an adventurous investor. Depending on how you come out will determine how your money is invested in terms of how your investment portfolio is actually built. But that's a really important thing to remember about a stocks and shares ISA. It is invested in the stock market. So essentially, your money could go up and it could go down. In fact, I will guarantee you right now that it will go up and down. So you need to make sure that you're investing for the right reasons, i.e., thinking long term and essentially understanding that there is always going to be a risk when you're investing in a stocks and shares ISA. The other kind of ISA, so the third type of ISA that we have, is called an innovative finance ISA. And an innovative finance ISA is essentially if you want to invest in, say, new companies. So it's all about crowdfunding, right? It's all about supporting new businesses. Again, you're able to invest and keep all of the returns completely tax-free. Now, the fourth and the final ISA that we have is a lifetime ISA. Now, many of you will be familiar with a lifetime ISA because lifetime ISAs are designed for really two things. First and foremost, to help you if you're looking to save for retirement, so for future life. You can save money into that. You get money from the government. There are certain limits in comparison to a pension. I did a video specifically on that. You can watch that one right there. But it's there for the first purpose, planning for the future, for retirement. The second purpose of a lifetime ISA is to help first-time buyers. So if you're looking to get on the property ladder for the first time, you can pay £4,000 into a lifetime ISA and get £1,000 free from the government to help you with your home purchase, your first house purchase. So those are the four kinds of ISAs. Now I've left lifetime ISA to the end because the biggest question that I get is this. Pete, I've got a lifetime ISA. Can I also now go and open a cash ISA or a stocks and shares ISA or an innovative finance ISA? And this is where I think there's a lot of confusions because these rules are more complex than they really need to be. They could be a lot simpler, but it is what it is, right? Can't do anything about it. This is what HMRC puts out as the rule. So let's talk about that. If you have got a lifetime ISA, you're saving for your first house, can you pay into a cash ISA, a stocks and shares ISA, and an innovative finance ISA? The answer is very simple. Yes, you can. Your ISA allowance is £20,000. That's how much you can save into an ISA during the tax year, April the 6th to April the 5th. You cannot pay in more than £20,000 during that period of time. However, you can distribute your £20,000 or contribute your £20,000 across all four of the various kinds of ISAs that you have available to you. So you can have, let's say, £5,000 in an innovative finance ISA. You could have £6,000 in a cash ISA. You can have £5,000 also in a stocks and shares ISA, and then £4,000 in a lifetime ISA, or any mix therein. However, one thing you have to remember is that within a lifetime ISA, you can only contribute £4,000. £4,000 is your maximum limit. So in other words, you pay £4,000 into a lifetime ISA, that leaves you with £16,000, which you can then pay into any other kind of ISA during the course of the tax year. It really is as simple as that when you look at it in those terms specifically. With that said, there is one big caveat, and that is this. You can only open one of each of the 4 kinds of ISAs every single tax year. So in other words, you cannot have a lifetime ISA with Moneybox, a lifetime ISA with Wealthify, a lifetime ISA with anybody else during the same tax year. So you can have one lifetime ISA, one stocks and shares ISA, one cash ISA, and one innovative ISA. You cannot have more than one of each with any provider at any given time during a tax year. Remember, the tax year runs April the 6th to April the 5th. So if you have, for example, contributed, and this is very, very unlikely, into all 4 kinds of those ISAs during this current tax year, come April the 6th, 21, you can essentially open another 4 ISAs all over again and begin contributing £20,000 into all 4 ISAs, you making sure that you do not breach the limit, number 1, of the lifetime ISA being £4,000, and number 2, your overall ISA contribution allowance being £20,000. So there it is. I hope that has made things clear. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible and as concise as possible. As ever, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop me a message here. If you do want a free share in someone like Stake, for example, or Trading 212, I'm going to leave links below in the description. Make sure that you grab yourself a free share. I must say that if you are going to open an account with Stake, or you want a free share with Stake, they, number 1, don't have an ISA offering at this point in time, and with them you have to fund your account within 24 hours of opening. The minimum amount you can fund your account with is £50. You get a share in Nike, GoPro, or Dropbox. They can be up to 100 quid. So for 50 quid deposit, if you get one of those shares at around about 50 quid, 70 quid, you'll be pretty good because you're going to be in profit. So it's almost a no-brainer. Go check out the link in the description. But guys, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened to the podcast this week, there it is right there. Definitely go check it out. Until Friday, have a good week.